Well, actually recruiting, so I recruited her since she was a sophomore in high school, so I kind of watched her grow up. And Katie Wilkins was just this long, tall, skinny string bean, kind of not I don't want to say gangly, but yeah, being 6'3", 6'4" at 16 years old, kind of not real confident in herself. And I mean, just a diamond in the rough. Kept watching her, and then with this kid is really going to be something special. So she turned out to be something special too.
Katie was the type of player where I think I came on my unofficial and I started watching her play and I was like, shoot, I better step up my game to play with Katie. She's intense, competitive, loves the game of volleyball, and you wanted to be a better player when playing with her.
Katie Wilkins was a wonderful teammate. She was so much fun to play with, always very high energy. She was also a great leader, which made it really exciting to play with her. Her athletic ability there was no question about that. Katie was a wonderful all-around player. She hit well, she blocked well, she served out of the gym. She was such a good server. She passed really well. So it was really fun to play knowing that you could rely on her all around the court. That really made her, I think, stand out from a lot of other players that played when we were here at Pepperdine.
She was a fierce competitor, and my fond memories of her really were of maybe like during workouts and practices, and she'll remember too, our early morning training sessions in the gym, kind of off season, during the season, and she just was a really, really hard worker, competed, extremely hard. But I think her hard work is what got her the self-confidence in herself, even though she was like 6'4", so she was a force to be reckoned with physically, but her hard work is what set her apart, I think, from, well, our whole team's hard work, but helped get her to, accomplish the goals that she's accomplished in her life.
Like I said, competitive. She wanted to win, and she was going to do anything it took to put that volleyball away. So as a teammate, you played up to her level, and we had success because of that.
Some of my favorite memories with Katie were actually before we got to Pepperdine. We played at Marv Dunphy's volleyball camp here together before we came, and we got to be roommates, which was a lot of fun. And not just the volleyball part, but getting to learn how to live with each other before we got here. We clicked right away, and we had so much fun together even before we started here. It really made the transition to Pepperdine a lot easier for us, and really built that foundation of friendship, which helped a lot on the court.
I was thinking about that when this whole thing came up, and with the group of players that we had, Lindsay Hache, now Weisenberg, and Katie Wilkins, and Katie Daly, and there's just a bunch of kids, and we had a really amazing stretch. We think we went 3 years in a row with 14-0 in the WCC. So as a coach, it was one of the most enjoyable times ever. Pretty much this group of kids worked hard in the gym, and we were tremendous athletes and volleyball players, and just good students, good people. So I think we sat back and let them play. They worked hard and deserved everything that they did and accomplished.
Freshman year at camp, we came in. I think there were 7 freshmen, and Katie and Lindsay were sophomores. And they had convinced the 7 freshmen that we were going to play volleyball. And that was a thing that they did here at Pepperdine. The coaches couldn't be in the gym at the time. So we, as freshmen, were running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to run down these balls that went off the walls. And we had been convinced that that's the game that they played when the coaches were there too. So yeah, they definitely, our first week of camp, they definitely got us. But yeah, we had a great couple years playing together.
After finding out last year that Nina was inducted into the Hall of Fame, it made me really proud that my classmate, my teammate, was also going to be inducted the year after. So it wasn't a surprise for me, but it certainly was a lot of fun that I've gotten to take part now in seeing 2 of my favorite people from volleyball inducted into my school's Hall of Fame.
I seem to see her like all 6'4", 6'5" of her on this little box that we used to have to do all this footwork on, and her just sweating and I'm sure cursing at me, and but just working so hard with her feet, like to get her feet faster and working hard to make herself better. And that's how I saw her, as always, just trying to make herself better. So that's my memories of Katie, and a wonderful time when she was here. I mean, what a great run we had.
Absolutely deserving of this honor. Like I said, she was not only a good player herself, she demanded and you wanted to play better because of her as a teammate. So that's the kind of player, you know, that Pepperdine strives to put in the Hall of Fame, is those type of players that she's good on the court and makes a teammate want to play better.